We are checking in with our representative from Tobago Civil Net, Xavier, who is no stranger to the Now Morning Show, to give us an update on the latest Tobago Quality of Life Survey. Xavier, good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, Ayanka. Morning, everyone tuned in Trinidad and Tobago and beyond.
Now, in terms of this survey, to give a little bit of insight, it's not just about your quality of life, but really your experience of living in Tobago. This being the third one, I know there were some tweaks to it. So before we get into the specifics, can you give us a little bit of rounding up, if you will, of this edition and how it was determined?
So the Tobago Performance Survey, which this is the third year we're doing it, it started as a feedback tool for residents, citizens, civil society, those involved in Tobago, Tobagonians, to have a collective feedback mechanism for the Tobago House of Assembly. So initially, it was really geared towards the performance of the Assembly. That was the first 2 years we did. This year, because we always, taking feedback and trying to tweak to evolve it, it focused on 3 core areas. 1, your quality of life in Tobago, your perspective on your quality of life. 2, participatory governance, which is focusing on the Tobago House of Assembly and their performance. And 3, your personal contribution to the growth of the island, where people now have to turn on the mirror and look at themselves and see, how have I helped to develop and improve the quality of living on the island? And we were grateful to do it this year in that way, because it gave us a little bit more data than usual.
Happy to hear that. I understand this would be the third time around that first time around that you're having as many participants as you had. This is an optional participation, yes?
Yes, absolutely. This time we partnered. This is an initiative of both Tobago Civil Net and the Tobago Council of Elders. We partnered with the Tobago Youth Council as well as Knights Analytical to help us structure the survey. And we got 410 participants this time. It's all, it's optional. We always make the offer to as many people as we can, but Tobago Civil Net is a small group of people doing the best we can. But this time last time I think we got 300 and about 50, 60 participants. Mm-hmm. This time we got 410, which is a good professional standard of plus or minus 5% probability for error. So it's a good respondent level to give a gauge of how the island feels.
Fantastic. When we talk about the island, then we are talking about all of the districts, or as many as we could possibly have. How many districts would we have captured audiences or persons from, rather?
The members travel as far as Castara. We tackle both the eastern and northern side of the island as well as the western side. Even though most of us live on the west, we wanted to go to as many areas and get a wide cross-section of people to have a more accurate response. So we went to Castara, we tackled a lot of youth. We went to Roxborough. Some members went up to Bell Garden. We went down to Crown Point, Mariah. We really got a really nice cross-section of people to give an accurate perspective.
Sounds good.
Relative.
In that case, it helped to give us some pretty strong talking points in terms of the overall quality of life, first and foremost, being pretty high. 34.9% was the result on that one, as excellent or good. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct. Almost 35% of the respondents said their quality of life in Tobago is excellent or good. We saw that as a good thing. There's always room for improvement, but if 35% of the population feels like they're living a good quality of life, I think that's a good start.
Now, I'm keen on finding out how you plan to derive actionable steps from these sorts of percentages. While the survey itself is available online, or the results, of the survey is available online, we are talking about just questions about how they engage with their communities and things of that sort, or do we have specific actions or activities they participated in so that we know we should repeat them? How are we going to action and continue to increase that figure to improve the quality of life of Tobagonians?
Right. So one of the key things for us is, as a small group of volunteers, we're always looking for more members to help and join. One of the biggest challenges in Tobago, even based on the survey, is public education and awareness. So distribution of information and opportunities available, whether that's to volunteer, whether that's a course in development, to learn a new skill or a new trade. So the actionable steps for us is to continue as we gather the data, to connect, to grow, to share it with everyone, not just those in government, but every citizen, and continue to do primarily our public education on the citizens' role in their democratic process, because it doesn't begin and end at elections. We also have a responsibility to contribute to the growth of our space instead of just, complaining, and also instead of just, when not complaining, just leaving it and saying, well, the politicians will do what they want, the government will do what they want. We have a
Here I am gesturing with you, putting my hands up in the air, because I know the saying, Trinidad and Tobago, we have the same behaviors therein. But one of the big findings that you found from this particular year's survey is a 71% expressing dissatisfaction with job opportunities. I'm very keen on delving into that a little bit deeper, because I know that a great part of your youth would have participated in this particular activity, saying that the options to them in particular were very slim.
Yes, absolutely. So that was one of the biggest challenges, especially from the youth respondents. I think Tobago has no lack of opportunity. And this is my personal opinion, I don't think it has a lack of opportunity, but there's a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of youth who, like myself, when I finished college, the job market was saturated, so I never really got to work my field. No, that has its own benefits, because I would say those challenges encourage a lot of entrepreneurship. So there is a growing movement of young entrepreneurs on the island. I myself am an entrepreneur as well. And that may not have happened if the challenge of the saturated job market did not occur. That said, that level of discouragement and those disenfranchised youth, I am aware acutely of my own privilege, my own ability to still pivot and do that. And for those who may not feel that way or may not have the drive that I have, it's leading to a significant amount of delinquency. And, we're also seeing the increase in crime and on the island. So creating those opportunities or facilitating avenues where those youth can create opportunities for themselves are important to us as well.
Xavier, that means that you're speaking of opportunity. I really appreciate your perspective therein. But what other opportunities did we discover as a result of this year's survey?
Well, we discovered there's an opportunity for collaboration between the Tobago House of Assembly and the respondents. Almost 71% of the respondents said that they are willing to participate in community development programs as volunteers, whether that's infrastructure. Many said they were willing to work in youth development and education, but there has to be a stronger medium of communication and interaction and engagement with the community to sometimes tap into that skill set. Because through those mediums of communication, interaction, tapping into those skill sets, I think opportunities can evolve. So that was one of the biggest things. The people, there is not a lack of willingness to work or to volunteer or to be part of something. They just need to be engaged. And we also need to do the engaging. Reach out, say what you have to say. Do things like the survey forms. Don't see it as a waste of time, because throwing your hands up in the air and giving up definitely is not going to bring about the change. I know it's challenging and people feel the way they feel, but throwing our hands up in the air and giving up is not the way to change any of that for ourselves or the generation to come.
Xavier, it's always delightful to have exchanges with you because you share not just positive perspective, but give us a lot of hope. So look forward to even better conversations the next time we connect. I hope that you see that percentage of 71% converting into action, persons actually contributing to the development of Tobago, as you do continuously through your efforts with Tobago CivilNet and other entities. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much as well, Inka. Yes, have a good day.
Until next time, we are continuing the talks of Tobago, but with a little twist, since Tobago and Trinidad will have a lot of entertainment through the Now Morning Show when we